Oh, you're here. CJ Stato. We've just been waiting for you to turn up before we've just been killing time till you got here. I just want to mention to others that's watching that CJ Stato has joined us recently and passed a comment on YouTube and said how much he enjoyed it. But the main thing is, I'm glad he's here because he's subscribed. He let us know that he's subscribed and let us know that he enjoyed it. So what you should do is, you should do the same and join him. He's very happy. You can be too.
Yes, and if you do subscribe by pressing one of these little things on here, the more people that subscribe, the better the show can get. And I've got a little, I know of somebody that could potentially get us a phone call with Rod Stewart for 24 minutes.
Ooh. 24 minutes?
Yep. It won't do 5, I've asked, but maybe 4. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I can't say no more because you got to subscribe. So it's out of my control because we know he's a fan of the show.
Yeah, you do know he's a fan of the show. And maybe the week after Lenny?
Henry? What?
Kravitz? He's also a fan of the show.
Yes, they're all there, and you could be too. Plugged on with. What do we know?
What do we know?
What do we know?
Oh,
go on then.
Uri Geller.
Uri Geller?
Yes, the mystical spoon-bending mystic man from Palestine, I believe.
It's somewhere else.
Oh, Israel. There we go.
Could be.
That was not political on purpose. He has made an offer on something, and he's paid £40,000.
Okay.
For one of his good friends, very close friend in the 70s. When he was living in New York, he was really good friends. They had a spiritual connection. They loved to talk about spirits and UFOs and spoon bending.
In the 70s?
Yeah.
No, I'm lost.
New York, 1970s, spoons.
Yeah, spoons.
Uri Geller has purchased for £40,000 John Lennon's blue round sunglasses for his gallery in Israel. It's got a museum.
Is it in Israel?
Is
Tel Aviv.
it in Israel?
It's in Tel Aviv.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, because how does he earn his money these days?
Bending spoons.
Bending spoons in
We
restaurants.
can't still be doing that trick, can he?
Everyone's impressed by a good old-fashioned spoon bending.
Yeah, but it's old art, isn't it, now?
No, he uses new spoons.
Yeah.
Keeps it fresh.
Oh, right.
Sometimes it's a ladle. Teaspoon.
Dessert spoon.
I don't know how he makes his money.
Yeah. Does he go on tour? You know, is he playing Wembley next week? No.
Spoon. Look, it is moving.
Are we particularly bothered?
No, not really.
But yeah, he's bought John Lennon his good friend's sunglasses.
Well, he did the same with Michael Jackson, didn't he?
What, he bought Michael
What?
Jackson
Yeah, he was
sunglasses?
supposed to be Rick Pally with him, wasn't he?
I think he's a Velcro kid, isn't he? He just sticks to things.
Yeah, he's got to latch on to celebrities.
Yeah.
To make himself look,
Money.
well, credible, I suppose. Yeah.
In the know.
In the know, yeah.
In the know.
Part of the gang.
Yeah.
Well, that's not music.
I
Well,
want
it is
to
because
be
he bought John Lennon's
Oh,
sunglasses.
sorry, yeah. So, I
You
switched off by then.
you see the link there.
I switched
Yeah.
off by then.
What's it? Sunglasses.
Yeah. There we go.
But he got one of the most expensive watches as well, hasn't he?
Uri Geller.
No, John Lennon.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, he got one of these watches. Don't ask me about watches. It was this particular watch. It's as rare as unicorn teeth, apparently, if they have teeth. And it's worth X amount of money, 250,000, something like that. A super amount of money.
Was it worth that much back then?
Oh, yeah, so it's always been a bit of a collector's piece, but he bought it on a recommendation. But he gave it, or should I say, when he was killed and they were clearing out some of his possessions, they used to have I don't know whether a butler or a driver or something like that. And apparently Yoko's supposed to have said to him, oh, that's his room, just help yourself to something. You know, because obviously don't need you now. So just help yourself to something. So he took the watch.
Okay.
He didn't know, he just thought it was a watch.
Yeah, but it's just very expensive.
Apparently, that's what he says. He didn't know, he thought it was a watch. I think he found out later, and I think he sold it on, but it's come back up market, I think. I think that's what's happened. It's come back up market. and it's expected to go for a super amount of money, especially because it was John Lennon's, but it's this really rare and expensive watch.
Oh, all right.
I wish I had more details about it, but I don't.
Well, you weren't to know we were going to talk about possessions of John Lennon. So
No, I'm winging it as usual.
winging it. Paul McCartney's one of his band.
I think we're just the one wing.
Wing. It's a cover band.
Jet. Yeah, that one. Yeah. I like that two albums. Venus and Mars, and what was the other one?
Band on the Run.
Band on the Run. Yeah, I like them. I thought they were good albums.
The band the Beatles could have been.
I don't know which one worst.
Why? Do you like it?
No. I thought it was cheesy.
Cheesy.
I can see why you would have thought that.
Hold on a minute. This is the man that likes Beautiful South.
Yeah, and?
Cheese on a stick.
No.
How cheesy did that get?
No. I want a big Beatles fan, and I want a big Wings fan.
I've said many times on here, I'm not a big Beatles fan. But since we've been doing podcasts for over a year and a half now, I've listened to more Beatles than I've ever listened to. And I've grown to like a few more than I liked before. But what I've always liked about the Beatles is the story. Because it's the gift that keeps on giving. There's always something new turning up. No, there's always something new turning up about the Beatles. Like you've just been on about the glasses. I've just been on about the watch. There's always something new turning up about the Beatles.
Do you know what year they had the last photo together as a complete band?
69.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It had to be somewhere around there, didn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it did.
Because after that, they just fragmented, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my first bit of news. What you got, Wayne?
What have I got? Right. So this week, a painting has been found called Dry Flowers. And it's from Syd Barrett, way before Floyd. It was 62, 63, just before he went to art college.
Right.
And it's been found, and they've sent it to auction in, I think it was Wales. And they're saying between £6,000 and £8,000 it's going to fetch.
What? When they said found it, was it lost?
Don't know. He just said
Was it at his sister?
it was found. I don't
like
know.
that?
He didn't say where it was found. It was just said that it was going on auction. I think it was. I think it's today. I think the auction is today.
Whenever today is.
Whenever today is,
but we can't let on.
Yeah.
No, unless you look when it went on, and then you'll know what today is.
And if you are bothering to do that, you might as well like and subscribe.
Yeah, ring that bell.
Yeah.
Like CJ Stato did.
Yeah, so yeah,
Smart little CJ Stato.
but it's way before his Floyd days.
Yeah. I don't know much about him before then.
No, I don't. How old was he
God.
when they made Floyd? When he
They were all kids, weren't they?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, let's say he was 20.
20.
Yeah. So this was what? This was 2-3 years before Floyd. So it's going to be. I'm sure he said it just before he went. He said just before he started art college. So he'd still be at schoolish.
He was friends with Nick Mason.
It'd be round about 16-ish, something like that.
That was the link for the rest of them, because him and Nick Mason were mates. And Mason was going to be an architect, I think. He was trained to be an architect, and he was at art college, was he?
Yeah.
Because they're all going to do something, weren't they?
Yeah, he was going to art college. But this is even before he went to college, so he must have still been at school.
Because
Or
the
in that
music thing was
period
just a
of leaving
temporary thing
school
until
and
they
starting
decided, all
college.
right, then we're going to go off now, finish his education and become what we were intended to be. It didn't work out. And Roger Waters has decided to be an annoying arse ever since.
Well,
Strong.
Did anybody see the thing he did with Piers Morgan?
I saw highlights. I didn't watch it all, but it didn't do himself any favours, did it?
No. Now, I'm not a Piers Morgan fan,
no.
to be fair.
He was a pompous.
But if there's anybody that can take on Roger Waters, it's Piers Morgan. And what he did were very clever. Because he'd ask him questions and he'd lead him in and he'd work him in and he'd keep him going. And then he just stopped talking and he just listened to what he was saying, because he knew that the longer Roger Waters were talking, the digger the hole he was digging, the deeper it got. You just give him enough rope, which was very clever.
But people like that do, don't they? Like Roger Waters. If you give enough rope, they're going to hang the son.
Yeah, he
They
just
just
made
keep
himself
going
look
and
really,
going and
really
going.
silly. He did. He just made himself look silly. He kept talking to himself as if he got having this conversation with his third person, and like as if he were thinking he were being funny.
Yeah.
But one of them inside jokes that nobody else understands. It weren't the best move. Yeah, I watched it, and it was almost compelling viewing. It was car crash TV. It was, Office.
The Office.
Yeah, The Office.
Yeah.
And it's like that type of humour that it's cringeworthy, but you just watch it. And it's just, oh, God. It was like that.
Never watched it.
Yeah.
You've never watched The Office?
No. Can't stand Ricky Gervais.
I don't know if you've not watched The Office.
Because I know he's in it. And that's why I purposely didn't watch it, because I can't stand the bloke.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm not a big fan, but,
No, I can't be doing with him.
I ain't got time for that.
I got time for that. I just don't see the funny side of him. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's not music, so
that's another episode.
That's another rant. Yeah.
So we've lost John Mayall.
Yes, we have. Yeah.
He recently died.
Yeah. Clapton gave him a great tribute.
He did. I saw the video.
You see
Yeah.
the video, yeah. It was quite emotional. One you could see were like a bit
Yeah.
fighting it back type of thing.
Yeah.
Spoke very highly of him. Very highly of him.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting insight that actually seeing that video from Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Eric Clapton's looking old.
Do you know, I was just about to say,
He
don't
is
you
old.
think
He
over
is
the
old.
last 3 or 4 years,
Just like,
he
looks
it's
old.
become old.
This is the thing, you see, because these people that we've seen around for 50 years, well, you haven't, but we have. We're 50 years. Well, and a bit.
We've said before, haven't we?
They've just got this picture in your head.
yeah. As
That's
we get
what they look
older, you
like.
forget, so do they.
Yeah, you think that they're just waiting to spring up and entertain us, and they're going to look like they did when they were at the prime, but they're not. They're getting old just as quick, and he does look old.
He does.
But he's still there, still knocking around. Difficulty with his playing now. He has trouble with his joints and his hands and things like that. He finds it difficult to play concerts, but that's a condition he's got that he has to live with. But John Mayall, 90-year-old, he did well. He was touring and playing last year.
But it really,
Yeah, in
90-year-old,
America.
wow.
Yeah,
It's impressive.
When 89 in America, he did a tour last year. Obviously a little frail, but he was still doing it.
Wow.
But look at the people that went through that band.
a lot of them.
Yeah, look at the
lot
people
of-
that went through that. I mean, we just mentioned Clapton for one of them. And isn't it funny that they always mention that debut album, the Beano album, where he
Beano
sat
album.
up front reading Beano. Clapton on there were, how old were they? 19, 20, something like that. And it were made in beginning of 66. It were released mid 66, but when it came out, Clapton had already left.
Well, where's he from? Surrey, is it?
Surrey.
So,
Oh.
isn't Clapton?
Oh yes, from Surrey.
So, isn't it weird?
Ripley.
Isn't it weird that within a few miles of each other, you just happen to have three guitar legends:
Yeah,
Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page?
yeah.
What's in the water down there?
Something's in the water. We look at them two bands that's down there. There were two bands of that same period. You got Blues Breakers and you got Yardbirds. Look at the people that went through them two bands. Would we have Fleetwood Mac if it weren't for Blues Breakers? Because McVie and Fleetwood were in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I mean, would they have said, all right, let's join Peter Green, who was also in Blues Breakers? Would they have come to fruition if they hadn't been in that band?
Hey,
You don't know, do you?
I've got a little story for you.
Go on then.
What leads on to Led Zeppelin? Sorry, Jimmy Page. So, Dazed and Confused is a cover. We're aware of this, right? It was written by somebody else in the 60s,
Okay.
right? The man who wrote Dazed and Confused also wrote the Gillette song. The best a man can get.
Oh, right. Really?
Jake Holmes.
Right. And
So-
did you think bring that as a single?
I don't know whether he was in a band or not, but he wrote Dazed and Confused.
So did he write it for himself or did he write it for somebody else?
I don't know, but he wrote the Gillette song, which is I thought was quite funny.
I did always think that were theirs. To be fair,
The Gillette song.
no.
I did, but I also knew some murmurings about that. It was either inspired by something or it was somebody else's. But I'm aware that it is somebody else's song.
A lot of the...
But like Led Zeppelin's is a completely different version.
Yeah, a lot of the original stuff, early stuff, was borrowed, should we say, and then repurposed.
Yeah.
They did sort of say that it was, but they didn't give the people who actually wrote it and performed it originally, they didn't give them any royalties, so it all got a bit messy when they had to take them to court to get the money's worth. They should have done that in the first place and just said, all right, with this old blind lemon-sucking Watson, here's your, But, they should have done.
Sounds like a weird episode of Sherlock Holmes. Elementary, dear Watson. Blind lemon-sucking Watson.
No, you know what I mean? They should have done. They should have just stayed up front, paid because they poached it, basically. But Mr. Page is extremely tight, so he refused to do all that. He had to be forced into it.
Uh-huh.
That's what you get when you...
It was something to do with Jimmy Page's tightness that him and Eric Clapton fell out.
Oh, I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, they fell out about something. This is a great bit of information because it's very vague. Let's just say they were playing Lego and Jimmy Page would not share his red bricks.
Oh.
Clapton was fuming and he threw a massive paddy, threw his yellow bricks in the ring and said, right, I'm playing on my own in corner.
That just about sums it up, really, because he could get a bit tetchy in his youth, couldn't he?
Ooh.
Eric Clapton.
Oh, that is, yeah, it was a bit difficult. And he admits that himself.
Oh, he does,
But,
yeah.
I think this is Jimmy Page's fault, though.
Well,
Actually, it was something about a song being released, and it got released, and it wasn't meant to be released. And Jimmy Page said that he didn't mean to release it. Eric fell out with him. Jimmy Page, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, he does say in his youth he was
Difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a difficult upbringing though, didn't he? And
Yeah.
he carried that for quite some time. I think it's carried it most of his life, actually.
Well, people didn't talk about things like they do now.
No. Yes, from being 9 when his mother come back and he found out that his grandmother wanted his mother, it was his mother.
No, it wasn't. It was his sister was his mother or something like that.
Oh yeah, that could be right. But
Yeah.
his mother went to... His father was Canadian, the Canadian Air Force, and he got taken back to Canada, and his mother went with him, and she only returned to England when Eric was 9-year-old to see how he was. So he's very confused by this because he's thinking, did she abandon me? Or was she told to abandon me? Was she told to leave? So, but he never got any answers to them questions because his grandparents died and his mother never gave him any answers to that, and she went back to live in Canada. Well,
she could have just missed flight.
But, he never really got any answers to that particular side of the question. And it always haunted him all his life.
If you'd like to learn more about this cryptic story with little facts and guarantees, there's a great documentary, I think it's on BBC iPlayer or Amazon, called Eric Clapton, Life in 12 Bars.
Really?
Yeah, that's from the documentary.
Right.
Yeah, where he's talking about his life.
And it's better when they do rather than being from a book, isn't it? Because,
it's from horse's mouth.
It's from horse's mouth. He's not technically a horse, though, apparently.
Is he not?
No.
Mule.
A mule. Right.
No, he's been accused of being a mule, but he wasn't carrying anything.
No.
Anyway, biopics.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Biopics. This December, there'll be a new biopic.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan.
Oh, yes, with Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, yeah.
Double E Chalamet.
He's an interesting actor. Well, I don't know. if it's going to be Hollywoodized, it probably will be. I don't think it'll be as. I think it'll probably portray Dylan too much of a legend. I mean, he's a great legend and he's got some great stories and stuff, but like they do tend to over varnish these characters, don't they?
Well, they do. Yeah, even the most difficult people in any walk of life, if they make a film about it, they make them out to be brilliant, don't they?
It's like the Amy Winehouse biopic, right? I've seen some footage of the biopic, and there's a bit where she's on stage at Glastonbury, I think it is, and she's a bit drunk or whatever. It's Amy Winehouse, and she's walking on stage. She talks to the microphone. She says in the biopic, "It took 3 men to get this dress on me, but it only takes 1 to get it off." Which is, a great line, I suppose. But the real footage, it says it took 3 women to get this dress on me, but it only took me to get it off.
Yeah.
But why change that when there's actual document proof that she never said that?
Yeah.
It just makes it look like she's like some sort of like promiscuous thing. It was just unnecessary.
That didn't necessarily fit with her character, did it?
No, and her dad must have approved this.
Oh,
But
we're not going on that one.
No,
I've seen some very strange footage. So her dad is a bit of a wannabe crooner singer, right? And he's on stage in a jazz club singing a duet with an Amy Winehouse tribute artist.
Okay.
She's got makeup on. She's all, oh crap.
Whoa,
Oh, we got a fizzer.
we've got a fizz.
We may have to pause for a commercial break.
No, we're all right. Keep going.
Sure, it's all up floor.
Yeah.
No, let's pause.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Shortly. Yeah.
During this time, why don't you do us all a favour and hit that like, subscribe so we can get more expensive beers that don't fizz up. Thank you, please. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dylan's biopic though.
Oh, no. So, Amy Winehouse.
Oh, you're on Amy Winehouse.
Amy Winehouse singing, or Amy Winehouse's dad singing with an Amy Winehouse tribute act. Weird.
Yeah,
Why would you do it?
that's sick, that.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, I find that sick.
Like, because it's someone who looks spitting of Amy Winehouse as well.
Well, that makes it even worse.
Fake tattoos on and doing all actions and stuff. And they're singing Body and Soul.
Is it a film, this biopic?
The biopic's a film. The thing that I was on about isn't. It was a live show.
I watched some other week on I think it was called Back to Black. Is it on...
It might be a documentary, that, right?
Yeah, on Netflix.
I don't know.
Or Prime, something like that. That's worth watching. That's good. Yeah, interested.
The problem
Although
is,
the
though-
Mecca dad up to be a bit of an angel, a bit of a godlike figure, and I thought, we all know a lot of that's not true.
The problem is though, like Lewis pointing out, what they're going to put in. What leads people up garden path? They say it's artistic license, they say it's this, that, and other. Well, why can't they just say, let's stick to facts?
Well, the Bob Dylan thing, yeah.
Is
But like,
is there something that they can't? Is there something that's stopping them from doing that, where they slightly have to change?
Well, they didn't have to change the fact that it took 3 men to put it on and 1 to take it off. That could have been left as she actually said it.
Yeah, but I'm
what's wrong
saying
with that?
is there certain
That's
things
fact.
that they do?
Because it makes it look more. It makes more drama. Does it? Makes it more interesting, but
But it's not fact.
it's not true.
No.
This is the problem with biopics. If they just do it as it is. Now, it's going to be interesting how they're going to do the Bob Dylan one, because it supposedly turned up in New York with, some say $3 in his pocket, some say $12 in his pocket. He come from Minnesota because he wanted to make it in the folk world. And then he did, basically. But, it was a cantankerous, awkward sort of, and he still is.
At the time, when he came to the UK, he really wanted to be like the Stones, didn't he? He used to dress like them. Are they going to mention that he was a bit of a fanboy of those?
Oh, yeah. Will they mention that? I don't know. But it was...
It'd be just like, he had this unique style when he arrived in London. Yeah. And everyone copied Bob.
It takes you up to 1966, apparently.
Right.
And that's when he played the Newport Folk Festival. And that's when they booed him.
Oh, right.
Well,
okay.
there's 2 camps about this. One said they booed him because he'd gone electric. And the other camp said they didn't. I was there, and it was nothing to do with that. Because he'd gone electric, the sound system that they were using couldn't cope with the fact that he'd gone electric, so the sound was rubbish. So they were booing the fact that they couldn't hear him.
Ah,
Right.
that makes more sense.
Yeah, he got booed when he played Manchester Free Hall or something like that. When he played Manchester in '66, that's when he did get booed. And that's when somebody in the audience shouts out, Judas.
Because he was playing electric.
Yeah, because we were playing electric. And his comments to that were something like, I don't believe you're a liar. You're wrong, you're a liar.
It's weird, isn't it? What people
Let's
get
play it
upset-
louder.
People just don't like change.
They don't like change. But you've got to remember that at that time, he'd really made a name for himself. There was no excuse for it, but he'd really made a name for himself as an acoustic singer-songwriter. And that's basically what you got in the 60s. And it weren't till latter end of 60s, well, this is 66, that he then became electric and played it louder. Because that's the way he wanted to go. That's the way it was progressing. And people didn't want the change.
Or maybe they just saw it like it was a gimmick, like pop gimmick, you know?
Maybe.
Like there's a lot of like trends and stuff there where they have these vocal...
Don't jump on the bandwagon. Don't
No,
sell
but like,
out.
so let's talk about like auto-tune where it sounds awful, and it'd be really disappointing if like Ray LaMontagne started having this compressed vocoder voice, and it'd be like, you're selling out, man.
And playing with a Mesa Boogie amp.
Yeah, and it maybe it's
Yeah,
that sort of
that'll-
contrast. Or if he dropped like a rap middle eighth or something, trying to get down with the rap artist. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that won't work for me.
Well, Judas.
Yeah, boo.
Oh,
Well, I've read two biopics, not read two biopics, but I've read about two biopics this week that's coming out next year.
Go on then.
The first one is Britney Spears.
oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not said if she will be in it or not. The second one, she definitely won't be in it, but she's directing it.
Oh, right.
And that is Madonna.
Of course, yeah. She has to have her hands on everything, doesn't she?
She's that. Apparently, that starts at end of this month recording.
What is this thing? Because they can't.
She says she won't appear in it, but she will direct it.
Because she's a very well-known director, and she's
Yeah,
very
she's
well
done it
known
before, hasn't she? She's done 2 or 3 films she's made, and I think she's directed and produced something like that. And she will be.
I think you were kidding.
But like,
she will be
to a Guy Ritchie,
Ritchie's,
but
won't she?
she's, you know that it's going to. I mean, so if, for example, if Madonna's going to do a biopic, direct a biopic of her, how can we trust her? Because she used to post Instagram photos of herself where her face was photoshopped onto somebody else's body. So awkward.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
And she was called out by that because the person whose body she used said, "You're using my body."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because her body is
Not.
not the svelte like thing it used to be.
Well, she's older, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's got to live with that now.
Yeah, but she,
We all have to live with that one, don't you, Wayne?
Well, unfortunately, yeah, it does. It creeps up on you when you least expect it.
You
Well,
can't.
an old body.
An old body. Yeah.
You can't
Touching
find
your own
gravity.
shoulder, and you're like, hey.
Get on the boat. Don't forget
Oh,
to
what
pay
was
the
the other
piper.
one? What was the other one?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, right? Yeah, that's going to be awkward as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they can't not
Because-
say she went mad.
No, because I'm going to say she had all that. Then she had trouble with her dad, shouldn't she? Will all that be in it? Will it be truth?
It depends on the time frame that they use.
Yeah, it might be like when she's
Old-
getting bigger.
Yeah, when she
Yeah.
first broke through
Yeah.
up to the stages where she's starting to lose it, they might just stop at that.
'Cause
Well,
she's-
they don't go back to the Dylan thing again. They stop at 66.
She's quite
When he got
young
pulled.
comparatively
Yeah.
to like a biopic, isn't she?
I mean, how old will she be now? She's only going to be mid-30s, 40.
I think she's
She's
like
old as 40?
44, something like that.
Really? As
Yeah.
old as that?
Or 40.
Oh,
Who
right.
should they make a biopic of?
I didn't think the...
They should make a biopic of Cella Black.
I've got mine.
I know Wayne's got his.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. No, no. Do you want him alive or dead? It can be arranged. Either way. I'll tell you mine.
I've got mine.
And it would be difficult. No, it wouldn't be difficult. It would be difficult because there's 3 distinct stages to this particular group. And you'll understand what I mean in a minute. Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, right. That's not a biopic, though, is it? That's a...
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, it's not a biopic's about a person.
It's about a person. I thought it was about a person.
No, it can be.
Well, rumours, yeah. That's...
Yes, it could be a biography about a group of people. So you'd have to pick a period, wouldn't you? Would you pick the Peter Green period? Well, no, because he apart from his mental illness, that was about the only thing exciting. It was good up to that point when he was not well. But there was so much went off in the band when they were all having affairs with each other, then they all fell out with each other, and then they all made boatloads of cash, and then they all spent boatloads of cash, and then they made Tusk, and then they didn't make any money. And Mick Fleetwood was manager, and he didn't make any money. And yeah, it was. I think that would make an interesting film.
Yeah.
So biopic is not about a band.
Okay.
So what about Bohemian Rhapsody? Is that just about Freddie?
Yeah, okay. I've got 2, and I haven't thought of the second one yet. But first one, Phil Spector. I think there may have already been one, but maybe in the early 90s.
There's a documentary about him, isn't there?
That's not a biopic, though.
I want
to know. Yeah, Phil Spector. Because I watched a documentary recently on him, and he's a nutcase. And who else? Maybe Michael Eavis.
Oh, good shout. Is there enough of a story other than the fact that he put on...
Oh, he must have some stories. I think he had a lot of beef with farmers in the fields and stuff like that.
Well,
but no pun intended.
Well, I think there was.
Lots of kick-offs and maybe... I'm sure he's got some stories. He's got to tell.
Backstage stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's quite an
Then
achievement.
it's not about him, is it? It's about his stories about people he's had on.
Oh, all right.
No, I liked it at first, and then the more I thought about it...
Mark Bolan.
Jealous little man. Oh, sorry.
No, I just can't. Won't let me have one.
No, what's yours?
B.B. King.
B.B. King.
Never heard of him.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to watch that. B.B. one.
Yeah.
My second one would be...
what time frame? Because he had a big career.
Well, yeah. Well, as much as you can get in it for as long as films allows you.
Muddy
I don't
Waters
think
would
you'll-
be good
I
as
don't
well.
think-
I was just about to say, my
Muddy
other one would
Waters.
either be a toss-up between Muddy Waters and Paul Rodgers, I think.
Or Howlin' Wolf, because he
Howlin' Wolf.
was like, he came over to England with that sort of like British invasion, did they, where it became popular then. And I wondered like
I mean,
the
I'd like
cultural
to-
experience of that.
I'd like to, if you could do it, I don't know if you could get that much information on it, somewhere like Lightning Hopkins. I'd like to see something like that.
There's some good documentaries out there that takes on a lot of these characters you're talking about, Muddy Waters, like Hopkins and people like that. I think, personally, that period is our period, and that period has passed, hasn't it?
That makes it more interesting though.
Does it?
I have more confidence in something that's further in the past than it is more present, because I feel like if it's more present, then there's more vanity around it. The further
Well,
away
if-
it gets, the less you affect.
Well,
Less
you're
affected you
saying
are.
our time though, Bob Dylan. He's
Yeah.
he's a past. He's not future. He's not
Yeah.
now, is he?
I don't know. He's touring next year.
Yeah, but we'll go to watch him.
Hey, you'll be surprised. He's 82, 83, and do you know who he's touring with? Willie Nelson, 91.
I say, Christ, I bet he's older than him, isn't he?
91.
91.
Yeah.
I bet there's not a lot of young ones in the crowd. Of like, let's say, 20, 21, 25 down.
There'll be some, but I get your point.
bet
There'll not be many because there'll not be many of his generation either. So they're like fans that have
Probably
grown up and have been fans.
40 to 70 mark, I would have thought.
Is that important though?
No.
Bums on seats, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Good name for a band.
Yeah, bums on seats.
Bums
Are they
on
still getting
seats.
people to come and see him? Yes, they are. It's like Pat Travers, not Pat Travers. What do they call him? There's a country western star, and you'll have to excuse me because I'm winging it here. He's had a stroke, and that was his career over. One of the biggest country and western recording artists at the years. It's for life of me, I can't remember what it is. It's going to really bug me. It's not much fun for you either. But he had a stroke. He's not very mobile. Obviously can't sing. But because of AI, he can now go back on stage, and they can use his voice to make some new music, mind you, with his voice doing the vocals and his full band there.
New music.
New music. He can still write music.
He can cover R. Kelly's Bump and Grind.
Yeah, so that is one advantage, that these people can still keep going because people still want to see them.
Yeah.
So, do we know that? Have you all seen the film Jurassic Park?
Yes, the documentary about the island full of dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yes.
So, do we know that in Jurassic World, which I think third one? I think Jimmy Buffett were in it.
Carrying two margaritas.
Yes, he was.
Oh, I don't
He was
know.
carrying two margaritas, and when he was sat outside this little bistro thing, and all these flying efforts come down, and things running through the streets, and he picked his margaritas up and set off running through the streets while chasing dinosaurs. So what they've decided to do is they've made an action figure of him
Are they?
carrying two margaritas. So he's now, you can buy a Jimmy Buffett action figure.
Well,
That's quite cool.
the country and western star were Randy Travers.
Randy
Travers.
Travers, which I thought were funny.
You'd have thought that they'd do more action figures of like musicians like they would action figures of heroes. Like you could have a little action figure of B.B. King
Yeah.
or an action figure of Joe Bonamassa.
You can. It's one of them bobbly heads.
Oh, right. On that note,
And he's got them in all different suits with different guitars and lot. Goodbye.
bye-bye.